Okay, so when we talk about stories, we usually focus on the big names, right? The heroes, the villains, the main players. But today, we're going to look at storytelling from a totally different angle, by digging into the hidden genius behind the characters you might not even notice.
And our way in is a kind of weird question. What can a talking bush, yep, a talking bush, actually teach us about the craft of storytelling? I know, it sounds a little nuts, but stick with me because the answer is way more interesting than you'd think.
All right, so first things first, let's meet our main subject. Say hello to the Echo Bush.
So, the Echo Bush is from a single episode of Dora the Explorer, and its whole deal is incredibly simple. It's all right there in the name. It's a big bush that just echoes everything it hears. That's literally its entire thing. And believe me, when I say it's a minor character, I mean minor. It's not a recurring pal or some big bad villain. It's a total one-episode wonder. A character designed to show up once, do its job, and then poof, never be seen again. So, what could that job possibly be? This gets us to the really interesting part. We need to figure out what this character actually does in its very, very brief time on screen.
You see, the Echo Bush doesn't have a single original line of its own. It just parrots whatever Dora, Boots, or anyone else says. It repeats their directions, their questions, even the noises they make. It's basically a living, breathing soundboard, just reflecting their own words right back at them.
Okay, so here's the best part. The big moment in this whole interaction is when Dora figures out she needs to get through the bush. So how does she do it? She doesn't fight it. She doesn't try to outsmart it with some clever riddle. Nope. She just yells, "Ah!" which makes the bush echo the sound and open its mouth wide enough for them to run right through.
And right there, that's it. That's the Echo Bush's real job. It's not supposed to have a personality or some deep backstory. Its one and only narrative purpose is to be a simple, interactive obstacle. It's there to test Dora's problem-solving skills in a way that a kid can totally understand. It's like a lock, and the word "ah" is the key. Simple as that.
All right, so we get the bush, a simple obstacle. But now we're going to zoom way out. Let's go from this one leafy example and see how it actually gives us a blueprint for understanding pretty much all characters.
And that leads us to the real question, the one that takes this whole thing to the next level. Why do writers even bother creating characters like this? I mean, why not just have a regular wall or a gate that's stuck? Why make it a talking bush?
The answer is pretty simple, but it's huge. In great storytelling, nothing is an accident. Every single character, from the hero you follow for hours to a one-off talking plant, has a narrative purpose. They are tools, carefully designed to create a specific effect, whether that's to push the plot, build the world, or in this case, teach a lesson.
Okay, so how can you start spotting this stuff on your own? It's actually way easier than you think. Let's build a quick little toolkit for it.
Here are 3 super simple questions you can ask about any character you come across. First up, what do they represent? Are they the mentor, the rival, a symbol of something bigger? Second, how does their design, the way they look, their name, give you clues about who they are? And finally, the big one, what is their job in the story? What is their narrative purpose?
Using this framework, you start to see how characters often fall into these classic roles, or archetypes. So you have Baloo from the Jungle Book, a perfect mentor, right? He's there for guidance, a little comic relief, and a whole lot of heart. Then you've got a competitor, like Cone from Object Lockdown, whose whole job is to create conflict and raise the stakes. And sometimes you get an icon, like Ivan from Among Us, just a simple crewmate who ended up representing an entire community. So let's put it all together. Let's put our bush right next to a classic. On one hand, you have the Echo Bush. Its role, an environmental obstacle. Its function, to test problem solving. On the other hand, you have a character like Baloo. His role, the mentor, and his function is to guide the hero and teach a whole philosophy on life. They're both characters, but they have completely different and equally important jobs to do. And all of this brings us right back to where we started, and why we kick this whole thing off with a talking bush. Why should we even care about these characters that seem so insignificant, so easy to forget? Well, this quote just nails it. They are absolutely essential, because even the smallest characters add depth to the world. They make a place feel lived in and real. You can think of them as the tiny hidden gears that allow the big, shiny parts of the story machine to actually work. And you know, that really is the key to all this. When you start looking for a character's function, their job, instead of just their personality, you unlock this whole new level of appreciation for storytelling.
you start to see the amazing intentional craft behind the stories you love.
So, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. What's the most memorable minor character you've ever come across? Maybe in a show, a book, or a game. And now that you've got this little toolkit, what do you think their real job was? Seriously, think about it. The answer might totally change how you see that story forever.